What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes news for August 4th, 2021. So, we have the skill card of Onkirimaru. I'm gonna mess this name up so many times. Onkirimaru is, at least I think that's how you say it, Onkirimaru. So, this is a very, very interesting hero. He has an active ability that depends on if he's in the front row or the back row. I don't think we've had something like that since like Edgar way back in the day. We have an innate 30% damage reduction on the hero. He can give damage reduction to allies. He bleeds. Yes, he bleeds. So maybe we have to burn him or build him on the bleed meme team as well. And we have another hero that has a resurrection, but it's in a very different form than the normal resurrections we've seen with Carrie, Michelle, Sleepless. It's not just a guaranteed one. There's only a chance for resurrection, but it could be very, very big. So hopefully he's a pretty strong hero. Again, we will be building him on multiple accounts. Maybe we'll build him on 3 accounts here coming up in the future, but let's jump into it. Let's take a look at his skills. Let's see if he's going to be any good. Okay, so you've seen tons of images here on Barry Gaming already. We got the name Onkirimaru. I'm thinking I'm saying it right. Let's take a look at his skills. Let's honestly just start right at the active ability here. It's a long one, so we'll go through it very slowly. It is called Brutal Slash. Deals 800% attack damage to backline enemies, which is decent damage, and bleeds them, dealing an extra 600% of attack damage for 3 rounds. So that feels a lot like a Scarlet Queen ability, just not as strong because, of course, Scarlet Queen hits everybody. But at least it's back row and not front row, so that is pretty good. Then increases all allies' armor by 40% for 3 rounds. So that's awesome. Doesn't matter where he is in your lineup, he will be giving that armor. Then, when Onkirimaru is in the front line, increases frontline allies' damage reduction by 25% for 3 rounds. That's pretty cool because, I mean, I'll still, even though there's not as many targets that hit frontline only, there's still a lot that do. So that's giving damage reduction to both himself and somebody else. So if you're wearing like maybe a crown on him, that could be pretty solid. Or when he is in the backline, he'll increase backline allies' precision by 48% for 3 rounds. That's not really that important. So 48% is what? 30% of precision goes straight to attack. So 10% is 4.8. Multiply that by 3, so about 15-ish% more attack for backline if he's in the backline. I think you're going to want him frontline, though. That's just my guess. Pretty solid. That's a solid active ability. And just remember, usually these numbers we see here are the V4 numbers, so just take that into consideration when you're looking at the attack damage percentage. But as far as the active ability goes, hitting backline, that's solid. It's not going to do much in Aspen Dungeon. He will be considered frontline in Aspen Dungeon, so he'll be giving himself damage reduction, which is good. It's a bleed. I don't know. We'll have to see. Next up, we have his passives, which are pretty good. Samurai Spirit. HP is 50%. Attack is plus 30. Crit is plus 30. Armor break is plus 60. And damage reduction is 30%. So he is getting 5 stats. The biggest one being this damage reduction here for PvE, for PvP. Is a really solid number, like very, very solid. And now that I think about it, 2 bleed heroes in a row. That is very, very interesting to see. All right, Blazing Wounds passive skill. Basic attack deals 400% attack damage to the frontline enemies. That's not huge, but will also deal additional damage that caps at 1500% of Onkirimaru's attack, equal to 15% of the target's max HP. So that is good, because if you have him very offensive attack oriented, maybe an A and B style, although they think Crown is still going to be better on him, that is a big, big damage dealer right there. And it's at least it's frontline, so you're hitting 2 targets. The 400% attack's not a lot, but the 15% of target's max HP, That's pretty good. If only it didn't have the 1500% of his attack attached to it as well. That'd be better, but hey, it is what it is. And then this is the really spicy passive right here. So it is called Enmity of Death. So upon Onkirimaru's death, he will turn into a ghost sword, possessing the ally with the highest attack and attacking along with the ally. So like, just for example, if you have Transcendence Sword Flash Shia, most likely it will go and attach to her. When the possessed ally releases an active or basic attack, so no like counterattacks, passive attacks, anything like that, the ghost sword will chase and attack the target that basically the ally is attacking, dealing 600% of attack damage with additional damage, capping at 1500% of Onkirimaru's attack, equal to 32% of the target's lost HP. So it's based on the HP the enemy has lost is how much that extra damage will be. It's 600% of just like passive damage. That's pretty solid. And then on top of that, if the target is killed by the ghost sword, so not the person who's using and attached to the ghost sword, but if the ghost sword itself kills the target, Onkirimaru will revive at the beginning of the next round with 100% HP. Whew. So yes, we got another revive in the game. I don't know what I think about it, but of course, the bleed dot is the last part here. When bleed is inflicted, it'll cause damage instantly. During its effectiveness, it'll cause damage at the end of each round. So essentially, if it's a 3-round bleed, it hits one layer right away, the second layer at the end of the round, and the third at the end of the second round. So technically, 2 rounds. It's weird how it works in the game, but they at least do give you a little description. And then, of course, all hero skills are subject to the in-game content, aka it could always change. So seems like a solid package. Seems very solid. Doesn't seem like a solo Sealand hero. Doesn't really seem like a PvE hero too much either. But maybe it is because, you know, in PvE, you put him in the back row, you do some kind of devastating damage. I don't know. They did give us a little card of recommended team lineup, so let's check that out as well. So as always, not always a big fan of these types of hero guides they put out, but they're saying, for example, these type heroes are very good with synergy. I'm honestly surprised Sword Flash isn't here because I feel like that might be an amazing addition to Sword Flash, but hey. Transcendence heroes, a Cruz Garuda. I mean, I'm guessing they're taking into consideration heroes that like people dying on their team, like Asmodel. Flora Gloria, I think that might be a little bit of a stretch, but wearing a crown or an upgraded candy bar could actually be pretty good. This lineup will enhance Onkirimaru's survivability. His active skill will bring bonus effects to his teammates. After death, he can chase the enemy in the form of a ghost sword and revive by killing his enemy. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Again, not really sure I really 100% agree with this type of team, but hey, at least they're trying. So what do you guys think about this hero? I mean, it seems like another pretty good shadow hero, and we are just having like back to back really good shadow heroes. Another revive mechanic, we'll have to see because it's very contingent on a specific set of things happening, which is probably a lot better than having another carry out there or something like that. Again, we will be building this here on both our Shadow meme team and we'll be building it on the main account. We'll be swapping our wall deck. And then I think eventually we will build him on the Bleed meme team. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to save up Prophet Orbs and we're going to go after him in the Prophet Orb event. And we're not going to scroll because I just don't want to spend money on this account. We might scroll to get a copy or two if we have enough on the Bleed meme team. But again, we will be live here on YouTube on Thursday night when the event goes live, about an hour after normal reset time in game. So definitely come on by, hit that subscribe button, man. We're getting close to that 60,000 sub mark. Thank you guys so much for the support so far, and I'll see you guys next time.